40 years ago today, marking the end of the Vietnam War and the fall of Saigon.
Yeah, this video was captured by CBS News in 1975. People desperately looking for a way out, trying not to be separated from their family. That event hits close to home for one member of our CBS 11 family, Elizabeth Din. Elizabeth Din is joining us now from the Dallas newsroom. Hi, Elizabeth. We see you. How you doing?
Hi, Ken. Hi, Gilma.
Hey, Elizabeth, we know that you're a hometown girl. You were born in Irving, but how are the events in Vietnam a part of your story?
You know, and as you mentioned, yeah, being a girl who's from here, but thinking back to those events from 40 years ago have really touched my life. In fact, today for so many Vietnamese Americans and for so many Americans too, and volunteers, anybody who had anything to do with the Vietnam War, this is a day that brings a lot of mixed emotions. Now, my dad at the time in 1975 was with the South Vietnamese Navy. So as a young sailor, he told me that he was on a ship, and so he could not get hundreds of miles inland to his family and to my half-brothers, and so he had to stay and help about 1,000 people get away from now communist Vietnam to go over to the Philippines before he himself made it to Guam and then to the U.S., of course, in Texas. My mother's story a little different. She came from a military family and was living in Saigon, and she was working at a base, a military base, was not able to go home to her family, and even though she got the alert that she should go home, she kind of kept working, and when she went home, her family wasn't there, and it turns out that there had been sort of like a rocket attack nearby that injured some family members, and she didn't know until later. They were sent to the hospital. She had to leave on her own as well, ended up in the U.S. My parents met here, fell in love, had my brother and myself, and years later I met my half-brothers. So it is a day where we look back, many lives were lost, many families were torn apart, but then again, if my parents didn't make it here, I would not be alive. So I look back and think, I'm so proud to be Vietnamese. It's many strong people, and I'm very proud of my culture. But again, many emotions as I think about everything that people have gone through, many Vietnamese people have gone through to get to the U.S., to get away from communism.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you so much for sharing your family story. Love seeing those photos as well.